Hello, everybody. This is Malik Dad, and welcome to Star Trek Online. This video is just an introductory video to the game, giving a brief overview of all the different things that you might have to change and do. I've got a friend that just started playing, and it's really difficult to explain to him how the different parts work. So therefore, I've decided to do this video because I can't see from his point of view what he's doing. Um, so yeah, feel free to continue watching it. If you've already played this game and are an expert, just skip over this video. I may be doing more videos later in the future, but we will see. This character here is Melina. She's my main Federation character. And let's get started. First thing first, ship and crew. This is, you hit the menu button and you can go to your ship and your crew. There's my character right there. Let's start with her actually. The first two slots are your weapons. You got armor, which you can also use your environmental suits, which are needed in some missions, but we'll get to that in a minute. Your shields, handheld devices. Up here is your kit equipment and a kit frame. What are all these? Well, weapons is explanatory. I've got a hand weapon and a range weapon. And you can change these out by simply hitting the A button and going to whatever weapons you got in your inventory or in your bank. And these are all the weapons that are being held by my away team or bridge officers. So you can see here on the right side of the screen is the weapon I have equipped on my captain. And on the left is the weapon I can possibly switch with. And this is one way of changing your weapon. Make sure you've got the weapons you want. Armor, like I said, there's an environmental suit that's only used in certain locations, such as mining dilithium. And there's some other missions that you need that for, but I've got a different armor that I haven't tried out yet. I'm not sure about that yet, but as you can see, you know, it's just there to change out. Same thing with your shields. But what's kit? Well, kit is your different abilities that your officer has. For example, this one here is Cold Fusion Flash. It's one of my favorite ones. It's pretty much a cold grenade, and it's only available for science officer, and since my character is a science officer, she can use that weapon. This one here is a health monitor that allows me to heal up my away team and myself when the health goes down below a certain point. So there's a variety of different things that you can pick to put in here. Some of them are even universal kit modules, like this one here actually is available for any officer, whether you're science, engineering, or tactical. I think this one came from a mission, one of the episodes, I'm not sure. Kit frame, again, it not necessarily needed to have it. Originally you were required, on the PC you were required to have one before you can start slotting in the different pieces of abilities, but they changed that before it came to the Xbox. So right now, again, I don't remember where I picked this up, but this one allows me to have more plasma damage. So my weapon, if I'm carrying a plasma weapon, will give me a 20% increase in plasma damage, increase in critical chance, critical severity, things like that. So these are all nice things to have. You know, you can get them as you go along. And then down here, your devices, like I got a hypo spray here, so when I get hurt, I can use that and heal myself up. This one here, it's a frequency remodulator. That's for when fighting with the board. Sometimes they adapt to your weapon frequency, so you got to use this. But enough of that. Let's go to the ship. This is my current ship that I have, the Kelvin Timeline Intel Dreadnought Cruiser, from the movie the Star Trek Into Darkness. But again, the same way, you can pick whatever system you want and change your equipment and modify your ship. Shield, deflector, impulse, warp. I don't really have much of, oh, there we go. So I've got another impulse engine, so you can look at the values and see what you want. On the right side are engineering, science, and tactical consoles. These things are consoles that you can put on your ship to allow you to do different things. For example, this particular engineering console allows me to have an increase of flight speed and increase in turn rate, along with some of the others you see there. But it's an engineering console. Same thing with the science console here, the fuel generator. It increases my maximum shield capacity. And then tactical, I've got phaser relays that increase my phaser damage. But sometimes you will get universal console, like this one here. It's a proton charge launcher that I believe comes from the Klingon version of the Kelvin timeline. And I was able to find this in the exchange where I was able to purchase that and use it. And one of the reasons is because it's part of a set, the alternate timeline set. I've got 3 out of the 4. I'm missing one more, and that's the first one you see there, auxiliary ejection assembly. And once you get all 4 sets, they give you bonuses. But what a universal console does is you can set it in any one of the 3 slots, either engineering, science, or tactical. I've got a couple others universal. There's the mining drill and there's the broadside emitter. But the rest of them, that's engineering, science. That's a universal as well. And then these are tactical consoles. Pardon me. One thing I should point out as well, you can see the difference in color. That's the difference between the rarity. You got the common, you got uncommon, you got rare, very rare, ultra rare, and then epic. And between the differences in rarity also increases in the abilities they have. For example, this is a common phaser relay that only does 24% phaser damage. This is a very rare tactical relay, a phaser relay, that does 26% phaser damage. This one is also only a Mark 10, whereas the common one is a Mark 12. So if I get this one up to level 12, it would actually do more than 26. And eventually, the long-range goal would be to upgrade all your equipment to Epic, which is what the universal consoles are. So you can't really improve them any more than they are already at. But the marks indicate what level your captain has to be able to use them. When you first start out the game, you are able to use Mark 1, Mark 2. When you get to level 10, you'll be able to use Mark 3, Mark 4. When you get to level 20, Mark 5, Mark 6, so forth, so on, until you get to level 60, that allows you to max out to Mark 14. So, bridge officers. You will start out with 4 bridge officer slots, and eventually, as you level up, you'll gain more. I've got a few, plus I've got an extra slot available. But all of these have the same thing: weapon, armor, shield, devices, and then they got this little thing called specialization. That's actually only after you get up to the upper levels, around 50 to 60 range, that you're actually going to be able to use this. So for the time being, I'm not going to worry about that. So let's go on out to the inventory. When you're in the inventory, you can equip some of these stuff to, for example, your character, like this weapon. I can hit equip, and there's all my characters all my bridge officers that can check and see which one I need to change their weapons. But the problem is, I'm currently in first-person view of my character, so I cannot do the same thing with a ship equipment. I actually have to be in space before I can do this. It's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't understand why they did it this way, but it is something that they've done. Research and development, this is all the stuff that you get for crafting, which I'll go into at another video. Assets, this is kind of shows you what you got. Energy credits up there in the top left, that's the main form of currency that's usually used to buy, sell stuff on the exchange. Dilithium is very important in this game. You can get as many dilithium ore as you want. I've accumulated a bunch, but there is a catch that you can only refine 8,000 dilithium per day. So let me go ahead and refine my daily allowance there. So as you can see, I've still got like at least 11 more days worth to go. But what's dilithium used for? Well, for one thing, it's used to purchase stuff. If I go to the store, there's all these different stuff. There's this environmental suit. There's some of the hanger pets, and even modules that I can use for my kit to change my abilities and stuff. So that's one thing you can use it for. Another, let me go back in here, is the exchange, where you can purchase and sell Zen. Zen is actually something that is very useful to have. And with Zen, you can go down to the store and purchase a variety of different things, including ships, duty officers, services, appearances, so like costumes and stuff. One of the things I did when I first started playing was purchase this. That is how I was able to get my character Melina. She is one that you have to purchase this. I think I want to say 600 Zen, but I'm not sure. And then later on, I got the Klingon version of the cat people. That was also 600. The Riemann, however, is something unique. That one I actually unlocked through the reputation, the Romulan reputation thing. When I maxed it out to tier 5, I unlocked this. So I did not actually purchase this, but it is available in the Zen Store, which is kind of unusual. But you can also purchase Zen with real money. On average, it costs a penny per Zen, so for $5 you get 500 Zen, so forth, so on. But occasionally you get them on sale. Like for example, around Christmas time they had, I believe, 25% off of Zen, as well as everything that was inside the C store. So that's just something there to keep in mind. So reputation, I just mentioned that. There's a new Romulus. I believe when I got to level 5, it unlocked that Riemann character. So I can now actually play as a Riemann character. And I'm not too interested in that, but that's just something, a heads up. This one you really don't need to worry about until you get higher up in levels. Probably, I believe, level 50. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. And, ooh, I finished it. Okay, well, let me go ahead and claim that. It uses marks, and you earn marks in PvE battles, which I'll show you where that's at. Again, that's also only when you're at level 50 or higher. So when I go ahead and claim this, I should have, there we go, Admiral Devok. So I earned 65,000 experience points, 500 Omega marks, 10 Borg neural processor, 9,000 dilithium, and 40,000 energy credits, as well as a title, Task Force Omega. So that's part of where I get my dilithium. Is not quite as much dilithium as I've gotten from some other reputation, but still it's a good chunk. So let's go on to captain skills. There's 3 sections here: space skills, ground skills, and traits. Space and ground are pretty much similar things. You should go in and pick whichever one you want off the skill tree. The ground trait does not have as much as the space, but both of them, you only have a limited number of points, even after you max out your levels. I think around level 50 is when you stop getting these points. So you have to be careful, because like right now, I cannot get anything more. And I'm not entirely satisfied with the way my skill tree is set up. Partly because I was interested in trying to max out the tactical. Because up here you can see this is how many points I've spent in the tactical side of the tree. And I wanted to try to get up to here with the ability Focus Frenzy. And that one's only available after getting 24 abilities from that section. And I didn't quite get it. I think I got 22 or 23. So close yet so far. And I actually want to get up there to 27 points. So I will more than likely have to retrain my character. I'm not doing it at this time because I haven't quite figured out how I want to do it. Same thing with the ground skills. If I retrain, I'll have to retrain the ground skills. I'm not quite sure exactly how I want my character to do. And one of the reasons why I'm reluctant to do so is that it costs 300 Zen in the Zen Store. It's not something you can do for free, unfortunately. And I don't want to get one of those tokens, try to retrain my character, and then find out I screwed up again. So I'm going to take my time on that. Traits. These are your passive trait that you will have. Like in this section is your personal ground trait. The one below is personal space trait. When you first start out, you don't have very many to choose from. I think about 4, maybe 5. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've been that low of a character. But as you level up, more will unlock. And the ones on the right, the bottom 3, are your reputation traits. You unlock them as you level up your reputation. As you saw on my reputation tree, almost all of it's maxed out. I've only got one more left that's not maxed out. And yeah, that's pretty cool in my opinion. The first one up here is your starship trait. You need to do that by commanding a tier 6 starship, which is the ship I have right now. That's where I got this target-rich environment. I leveled up that ship and unlocked that target-rich environment ability. This one, however, highly specialized, I believe, is a Klingon ship, tier 6 ship ability. And I was able to get this one through the exchange. And when I opened the package that had that in, it unlocked this ability for me. So you can get some starship traits probably early on if you find the ones you're interested in. But again, they cost a lot of money in the exchange. Just, I believe, I want to say it was about 100,000 energy units. Thereabout, I'm not really sure. Specialization for your character, not for the bridge officer, for your character. I've got command officer as primary and strategist as secondary. And when you hit level 60, you start earning these specialization points. So it's a way of continuing to level up, if you will. You get these extra points so you can get more abilities. So like right here, I got a ground skill that increase exposed duration. And this one, space skill, enables exploit mechanics in space, which is of ability to do more damage. A cruise station. This is the last thing I want to talk about here. When you get a ship and when you change from one ship to another, you have to assign bridge officers to the different stations. So, for example, this station here, if you look on the right side, is a Lieutenant Commander Tactical Station. This one is an Ensign Science Station. But some ships higher up, level 5, level 6, tier 5, tier 6 ship will come with Universal Station, which means you can put any bridge officers there. And this one, I just so happen to put a Tactical Officer. And yeah, Universal Temporal Ops. The Temporal Ops part is a specialization. And this one is Engineering Intelligence. And I've got my Borg bridge officer there. She does not have any specialization. So really all her abilities that you see there are the engineering abilities. And this is how you can change your abilities for your officers. Like right now, I got Engineering Team 1 equipped, but I could change it to Power to Shields. And that will change my abilities that I can do with my ship. But I actually want Engineering Team, so let me put that back. Fire at Will. This one he's got Tactical Team 1 and Torpedo Spread 1 available for him. The rest of them require training manuals. And most of the lower level training manuals you'll find a NPC player character on Kronos for Klingons, Starbase for the Federation, and Command Central, I think, on New Romulus for the Romulan characters. You can purchase those books. You don't have to get them from the exchange. The higher level ones, for example, Emergency Power to Weapons 3, you need to get a character who is an engineer and has the ability of creating that training manual. One of my other characters on my account is that, so I was able to create that. If you don't have one, you're going to have to buy that at the exchange. And I've been selling some of my extra copies on the exchange. And I don't really remember how much I've been selling it for. But oh well. This is small craft station. So that's the shuttle. Some of them have bridge officer stations, some of them don't. And then of course finally your away team. The important thing on the away team is whoever you have in your first slot is, I would say, is considered your number one first officer. There are some missions where you are not allowed to take all 4 of your away team with you. You can only take 1 character with you. And that would more than likely be, I would always be the first one. You can change it, but it's just easier to put the person you want to be your number one in the first slot. You can change it with all your other different characters. And it shows you what abilities they have in terms of what they can do during the ground mission. And this is where you can also change their ability. Same exact thing. Get your training manual, train them. Like this one got Cold Fusion Flash available to unlock. But I don't really want to do it for that character, so I'll leave it alone. So I mentioned tier 1, tier 2 ships and stuff. Well, let's go over, loading in. Let's go over to where you can purchase your ship, which is down here. Is that you? No, you're customized. There you are. Get a new starship. There we go. Yeah, tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The difference between that, you first start off with a tier 1 ship. When you get to level 10, you will get a tier 2 ship, a little token that allows you to get one tier 2 ship for free. And you can go in and purchase whichever ship you want. The best thing I recommend doing is you've got escorts, you got cruisers, you got science vessels for the Federation. The Klingon and the Romulans got different names for them. My recommendation is to pick one of these for tier 2, whichever one. And for tier 3, pick one of the other 2 that you haven't picked. For tier 4, pick the last one that you haven't picked. And there is a specific reason for that. Number one, you get the chance to try out the ship and see how they feel. Because when you get to level 40, you will get a tier 5 ship. This will be your last free ship that you will get. And you got to be careful which ship you want to use. I've actually somehow, I'm not sure how, but somehow I managed to earn another token. Like I can get this ship right now for another tier 5 ship. I just haven't bothered using it on anything at this time. Mainly because I was more interested in getting my tier 6 ships. All the tier 6 ships are going to require Zen. And yeah, it costs quite a lot, $3,000. That's equivalent to $30 in real money. The fleet ships you get when you join a fleet, and they also cost a lot of money. For example, this ship here requires 20,000 fleet credits, and I've forgotten what those things are called, but those, I can find out actually. Fleet ship modules, these things. It costs 500 Zen just to get one of those, and it requires 4 of them. So that fleet ship is going to end up costing you 2,000 Zen, and some of them cost 5, some of them cost 6. So it still gets pretty expensive to get a tier 6 ship. So yeah, it's kind of the way the company makes their money, and by selling pardon me, selling stuff so that you can buy a ship with real money. But you don't have to do that, because I have not yet spent any money on this, and yet I've been able to get my favorite ship so far. There we go. Yeah. And that's where you go to customize your ship. Select your ship. There we go. See, this ship here is also a tier 6 ship, and this was a free winter event ship during the winter event back in December, early January. By doing these little missions and accumulating tokens, you can qualify to earn one of these ships, and I was able to do that. It's not really a ship I care to fly, but it's a tier 6. It was free. I went for it, and I got it. This is one of the other ships, APU cruiser. And then if I go over to the dry dock, you'll see a shuttle in the first slot, but the other 4 slots are all Mirror Universe ships. Those are all tier 5 ships. I was able to get those along with the APU in the exchange, which is up here. So there are other ways of getting a tier 5, tier 6 ship. So you can modify, change what you want. So going up here, with rare, and you go down to reward packs. That's where they'll be at. And I'll click no. See, there's your APU cruisers. A whole bunch of Mirror Universe. As you can see, it's about 500,000 for the majority of them. And sometimes they get, ooh, 265,000. That's a real steal right there. Yeah, the price has been dropping lately. But the APU cruiser, because they can be used by all Federation, Romulan, Klingon characters, doesn't limit. Some of these are only available for Federation, like this one's Federation. That's all these are Federation. There it is. Quinn Raptor is a Klingon. And there's a Romulan one. There's a Romulan one. A Hanom Guardian Warbird. So, and then those are all tier 5 ships, but you can get a tier 6 ship from the exchange like I did. Yeah, ignore the 200 million. This is way too expensive. Oh, there we go. Right now the cheapest tier 6 ship is 43 million. It's a Herald Baltim Heavy Raider. And there's also Elachi's, I cannot pronounce that. Oh, it's some sort of escort ship for 45 million. It's going to take a while to get up there. The other ships up here are shuttles. It's got a Ferengi shuttle and a Vadawar Pythis fighter. So that's just some extra stuff. All those come out of the lockboxes, which you need a lockbox key for, which is available for Zen, or you can purchase them on here with energy units, but they cost like, let me check, see what the price is. You get 20 keys for almost 27 million. So yeah, over 1.1 million energy unit, and you're not guaranteed to get a tier 6 ship. It's really not that practical, in my opinion. Got a lot of money to spend, then yeah, sure, go knock yourself out. But I don't really think it's worth it. Now, one final thing. Let me see, missions. Let's do missions first. Talk about a little bit about these options, and then I'll show you one other thing that's important to know. Mission journal is where all your missions are going to be. I don't have any active missions, but sometimes when you finish an episode, you're waiting to go on to the next one, and you don't know what to do. You can come here. You can see what your active missions are if you have any. If not, if there's none there, go to incoming hails. And if you look down, some of these you'll recognize to be daily missions. Most of them are marked daily. Asteroid mining is daily, even though it's not marked daily. PvP, I don't want to do that. If you find one under here that's not a daily mission, that's probably your next episode. So that's the place you can go to find that. PvE, when you get to level 50, you get a lot of these different battles that you can unlock. Go in with usually 5 players. It matches you up with other people, and you go in and you do a battle, either ground or space. You can see a person there, that's the ground battle, and there's a ship there, is a space battle, and that allows you to earn these marks, which you use for your reputation. Fleet marks is actually used to improve your fleet holdings. PvP, don't care about that. Admiralty, the reason earlier I was talking about picking the different ships when you get tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 ship is because of Admiralty. Your ship, you can send them away on missions, but if you pick the same type of ship for tier 2, 3, and 4, you're going to be really number heavy towards one particular branch, either engineering, tactical, or science ship. So for example, the support cruiser is 22 engineering, 10 tactical, 13 science. But the research science vessel is 11, 11, 23. So you can see that it gets a little number. And then the reason why I purchased all the Mirror Universe ships is so I can get them to pop up here. And there's my Intel Dreadnought cruiser, 59, 48, 19. Oh yeah, and that allows you to do different assignments to level up. You get different abilities. Like this one here, I can earn 500 dilithium. I also earn 4,000 experience points, 684 points towards the Klingon level mission faction thing here, but I've already maxed it out, so that's not really mean anything now. And 3 of something in a box. I'm not sure what it is. They're different. Like this one's a different picture than that one's a different picture. So those two are the same actually. But yeah, you got different abilities, different things you can do. And it's useful. Research and development, that's where you get the ability to build different things, like your crafting menu. But you have to level up the research. And this comes later, I should point out. This comes level 11, 11 or 12 when you get duty officers. Because you actually need to use duty officers for this. So let's go to duty officers. So duty officers, I've got a bunch here. You got bridge officers that work with you in flying the ship and doing ground battles, Duty officers are like the rest of your crew on your ship. And they can do different missions and stuff to allow you to get different things. Let's see what I've got going. Oh, I've got a couple. Okay. Oh, for this, analyze probe for alien artifacts. I get some expertise, experience point, exploration points, energy credits, 5 dilithium ore, and then I got some crafting materials from that mission. And same thing with that, I get some magnesite from that. But you get a chance, like this mission, there's a possibility of getting a new duty officer. It's just a way of leveling up as well. You get experience, but you also, one of the really nice thing is, for example, the diplomatic branch. Once you hit level 4, you get the ability to transwarp to Deep Space Nine. And then right under that, select a single bridge officer candidate from an enemy faction. So I can pick a Klingon or a Gorn or like whatever bridge officer and have them be on my team, which is really, really cool. So I like that, and I also like the transwarp ability to go to Deep Space Nine from anywhere on the map. You also get the Diplomatic Corps uniform, which is it's okay. All the others, basically the only reward you get for getting to rank 4 is a purple quality duty officer. That is a very rare duty officer. Other than that, it's not really that worth it that way. Well, actually under espionage, you get the chance to get the spy title. That'd be kind of cool. Be a spy. But for assignments, you just go pick whichever one you want to do, as long as you got the required crew to be able to do that. So, like I want to do that one, I could hit X to begin. There we go. Let's see if I go down to espionage. No. Well, some of these have difficulty ratings right here. If you go up to here, casualty risk, sometimes they'll say low, none, low, medium, high, whatever. The higher it is, the more chance that your white and green duty officers will be killed. your blue and purple and gold will still survive. They'll be put in sick bay for about 20 hours a day. So as you see, I've got a few rare, very rare duty officers. I'm trying to build up on that. I'm trying to get rid of all the white and the green. I mean, for some odd reason, I've got 4 bartenders. I don't know why that is. So I got 1 bartender right there. There's you got 2 of the same right there. There's 1 there. There's 1 there. So 4 green bartenders. I don't need that many bartenders. Like, you know, my crew trying to get me drunk or something. I don't know. But again, that only comes when you get to level 11, I think, 11 or 12. It's early on, so once you get past your first ship, you'll get another one there. Now, the last thing I'd like to mention, I hold X down, I get all the abilities here. A lot of these are the abilities that are on my kit equipment here for ground. For space, it would come from my bridge officer. So let me go back to that. So for example, I got tricorder scan. RB toggles auto execute. So I try to get everything to auto execute at certain times, like this, whenever possible. And this when your target's health is greater or equal to 50%, when your target rank is lieutenant or higher, you can turn it off. I prefer just go ahead and do on. Some of them, like this one, you cannot set to auto execute. So that one would be the best thing to do to put down below. So like I got it set right now for that one. So when I hit X, it automatically it'll turn that on. I saw one that didn't have. That's another one. I cannot do auto execute, but this one I can. I don't know why that one not set. So let's set it to when my health is less than or equal to 50%. And then LB does the same thing. Got different abilities and stuff. So gambling device that allows me, if I win, I get good luck for 3,600 seconds. Increased dodge, increased critical hit, increased critical severity. So let's see. And I lost. What happens if I lose? Bad luck for 60 seconds. So for a minute, yeah, that's not good. That's okay. It's only for a minute, so I can tolerate that. But yeah, you can do that for your character here, and then as well for space. So I'll show you. Return to ship. But for space, you do the exact same thing, where you can hold that button down and point to the direction that it has. Let me fly away from here a little bit while it's doing that. Whoops, I'm getting too close to the station there. Oh, what was that ship? Huh. Ship I hadn't seen before. But yeah, I've got my beam array, fire at will, auto execute. A lot of it's on auto execute. Some of them, to be honest, I probably should not have on auto execute ships because the battle gets a little hectic and stuff. So those are all, X, Y, and B are all bridge officer abilities that you can put on your bridge officer. Now, the other thing, the bottom left corner, with your ship at 100, that's your hull health. The white circle is the shield from different arrays. Right next to that is your power. Let me come to a stop. When you hit the D-pad right, it changes those. So like I go to the second one. Now if you look at the numbers above it, the second line is 118/100. If I go to the third one, that goes down. The third one goes up to 116. So forth, so on. Go that one to 107, then back to the first one. What they mean from left to right or top to bottom is weapons, shields, engine, and auxiliary power. Weapons apply to the weapons you have, which is in the bottom middle of your screen. Those are your weapon arrays. Shields, of course, your shields. How fast they regenerate during battle. Engine is your speed. So, I did a scan. Whoops. If you hit the D-pad to the left, you scan the area, and there's nothing here. But sometimes when you do that in an area in a map, it will point to the direction of an artifact or something that you acquire, some of the crafting materials. So if I go to engine now, I will be going a little bit faster than I was before. If I get off of the engine, really don't see much of a difference, but there is a difference, so trust me on that. Auxiliary are your exotic damage, tractor beams. I believe I've got Tychon's Rift, Gravity Well, different things like that. That's where the auxiliary, it draws power from the auxiliary. And I used to be a little bit heavy on that, doing the Gravity Wells, Tychon Rifts, and different things like that. But because of this ship, just the type of ship this one is, I've decided to go a different way for that. So, having said that, I believe that's everything that I wanted to say. So hopefully this is a good tutorial video for those of you that are wanting to start out and playing Star Trek Online. Give you a basic idea of all these different menu options that you have. Certainly I hope it helps my friend making this video to understand exactly what all these different options are. There we go. So welcome to the bridge. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave questions down in the comments below. Until then, see you next time. This is Malik Dad signing out.